So this vlog is a continuation of my previous blog post, hacking the anger struggle. And I was going to do a whole life story of my experience with anger, but I decided that it's more practical to just get right to the, solutions and the things that I've realized and ways in which I've come to support myself in relation to anger and rage. For me, the pattern of anger and rage really, through going through a lot of consequences and experiences and anger and rage repeating in various types of scenarios, and working with myself and writing and falling and repeating the pattern again and standing up and look at what I missed, which took years. It's taken years. What I came to was the word powerlessness. What I realized is that those big emotional outbursts of anger and rage are kind of explosive. Like, whoa, where did this come from? It's an accumulation. Starts with an accumulation of small little moments, small little reactions of frustration, of disappointment, of annoyance, of irritation, with people, with things. It could be people, it could not be a situation where there's no other person involved. The common denominator, whether it's me with my computer or equipment not working the way I wanted or expected, or something not going to plan, or encountering obstacles and limitations to what I wanted or how I wanted something to go, or difficulty with communicating with someone or whatever, and conflict emerging from that. The common denominator is the experience of powerlessness. And let me define that. How I would experience that is, something's happening, someone says something, the situation is going in a certain way, and in reaction to what's happening, I experience I'm being limited, I'm being treated unfairly, I'm a victim of something here. I want this, it should be like this, and all of these things are happening, and I don't see what to do, I don't see how to handle myself, I don't know what to do, blah! Like these little moments of frustration and powerlessness. And for me, that kind of experience started happening early on in life, because naturally I was not really geared toward being grounded and solution-oriented and remaining practical and moving through challenges, embracing and moving through challenges and obstacles. For me, I would just immediately react to challenges and obstacles, or if someone does something or says something or something happens that I interpret as that I'm being unfairly treated, I am being victimized in some way, and not having a way, my power is being taken away from me. I don't know, I'm trapped, I'm cornered. I don't know what to do or say or how to handle myself. Those little moments accumulating and storing all of this energy, this reactive energy, ultimately would lead to some moment where then that same experience is triggered, but I can't hold that energy in anymore. I can't cram any more of that powerlessness energy into my body, and it's like, blah, it comes out. That's my experience with that pattern of explosive anger and rage. It may be slightly different for everyone, but I think that it's probably very similar for everyone in terms of some form of powerlessness, some in whatever way, but that's the key word for me. And so what I've found is that really the solution to the big explosions doesn't start with working with the big explosion. It starts with working with those small moments of powerlessness, where what I learned and the solutions that I have found to be effective is that, and it's challenging because you really have to do some work and take self-responsibility and suspend that really justified, righteous feeling of powerlessness. where it feels like this is the only way I can respond to this situation. This is the only way. I have to get angry. I cannot handle this situation without getting angry. That's the experience that you have to stop and really allow yourself to suspend that and say, well, okay, let's assume that maybe that's there's some speck of validity in my reaction in terms of something happening, but maybe there's not. I'm going to see, maybe, what did I miss? Maybe I am the problem. What did I miss? What am I holding on to? What expectation? How have I defined my relationship to this situation that's happening? That's the really nitty-gritty stuff that needs to be investigated, so that a solution can be developed and found. Like an example of this would be where I would tend to just really get frustrated right off the bat when working on music and working with my music software and wanting to do something, having a vision or, this goal that I want to create, but it's just not cooperating with me. It's just not going right. I just over and over again, these little moments of blah. It's freezing. There's a problem happening, and all I want to do is just make this thing that I need to create. That's the valid point here, and this is limiting me. This is, for me, those little moments were quite a challenge to really come to grips with. And what I had to develop was the ability to let go of what I want, let go of what I think everything needs to be, my expectation, my whatever, and focus on the reality that things are a process. If a situation arises where there's some sort of problem, some sort of limitation, where I don't in that moment immediately see the solution, and I don't in that moment immediately know how to handle myself, that's okay, because that is an opportunity for me. It's showing me that I need to develop some more skills. I need to do some more research. I need to do some more writing. I need to go and ask for more support and assistance from other people. I need to suspend whatever it is that I think needs to happen right now, and to let go of that and look at, what can I learn? What can I learn? What can I develop more? What can I do differently? Who can I ask for help? It's like this point of where you have to push yourself to approach that situation in a different way, some other different way other than that same thing over and over again, of just immediately living this statement of, this is a problem, screw this, fuck this is limiting me, blah, blah, blah. Because then what ends up happening is you just keep encountering that same obstacle over and over again. You never push through it. You never expand. And the anger just comes up each time. And it's like those little moments that are a lot of times not even in relation to another person that end up fueling this compounded energy, where then when you are talking with another person, or when you are in an interaction with another person, and let's say an argument happens and you access that powerlessness, if that energy is there, it then maybe will come out, and now you're screaming and yelling and smacking things, and this person is like, what the fuck is going on here? What did I do to deserve this? And the reality is, that can compromise your relationship with people. It can compromise, it's a big self-sabotage point. So rather than, for instance, allowing that self-sabotage to continue, and becoming this self-fulfilling prophecy where you just kind of keep creating yourself as this limited, victimized powerlessness experience, and then believing that you're finding some sort of power by being angry and like smacking things or rebelling against a computer or whatever, that doesn't help anything. It doesn't solve any problem. It doesn't support you to live your full potential. So it's like you have to look radically different at those moments, and you have to do this is the tough part. You have to push yourself to do in those moments basically the opposite of what you feel like doing. Like in that moment of frustration and anger and powerlessness, the last thing you feel like doing is slowing down and like looking at solutions and what can I learn from this? But you have to remind yourself that this powerlessness it's a gift in a way, because it's a very clearly defined way where I'm showing myself I have an opportunity to expand. I have an opportunity to investigate something and deepen my understanding of what are my strengths and weaknesses. I'm encountering a weakness here, so how can I strengthen myself within this weakness? What new skills do I need to develop? And again, who can I go ask for help and support? Who can I talk to this about and look for solutions? You have to get creative, because it's those little moments of anger and frustration and disappointment and whatever. Those are what accumulate into the big explosion. So if you can't, if you don't get a grip on those little moments and start learning to be solution oriented and orient yourself, align yourself to the word learning. What can I learn? What can I develop more? Instead of like bouncing off the thing that's happening and just going, yeah, you need to embrace the limitation, embrace the obstacle. If you're in a conflict with someone, an argument that keeps coming up, suspend whatever it is you feel so justified being angry about, and just as a crazy consideration or a crazy suggestion, just assume maybe I have something to learn. Maybe no matter what they're saying to me or how they're saying it to me, maybe they're right. What if they're right and I'm wrong? Wow, that's a crazy idea, right? But most of the time, or in fact all of the time, whenever there's that anger and frustration towards someone or something, there's always something to learn. That's why the anger exists, because if I was equipped really with all the solutions and I really had the right way and the best way, I wouldn't get angry. I would be able to move through that scenario, through that obstacle. I would be able to have a solution. So it's like you have to make peace with the fact that, as righteous as it feels, you're never empowering yourself with anger. The way to empower yourself is with, what can I learn? How can I develop myself more? How can I swallow my pride or what I want or what I think I want or what I think is best? What can I learn? That's like the two key words. The disempowerment, which is like the starting point experience, and then the solution, learning. What can I learn? What can I learn? Those are like the two things that have helped me really come to grips with anger. Is where do I go? Where are those small little moments where I go into an experience of powerlessness? What is the obstacle or limitation or whatever that I'm reacting to? Like, what happened? And then what weakness is that showing me about myself? Where do I need to develop myself more to strengthen that weakness? If you have a weakness in communicating with other people, a weakness in being disciplined, a weakness in really sticking to something, those have been my weaknesses. A weakness in considering unconditionally what someone else is saying when they're speaking to me and suspending my own point of view for a moment. Strengthening myself on all those points has really supported me to react less in those moments and expand more and start, being able to live the way I want. It's like, you can't live the way you want if this anger is controlling you. And as justified as it might feel in certain moments, there's always something to learn that you just haven't considered. That's the key. Whenever there's anger, that means there's something that I haven't considered, I haven't yet seen, I haven't yet tried, I haven't yet applied. There's a way for me to expand, me to learn, and me to develop myself more. So hopefully that is of some support. If you have any particular questions in relation to your particular experience with anger, please send me a message or leave a comment, and I would be happy to support you with that. Thank you very much for watching.